Good morning, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Journeys and Ambitions. I am Abigail. Jennifer's not here, but we have the lovely, the gorgeous, the beautiful, the charismatic Michelle. Introduce yourself, Michelle.
Hello, guys. I'm Michelle. I'm here from California, stepping in for my girl Jen. So where
Yes.
she goes and plays. I'm
Yes.
excited to be here.
Jen is on a cruise right now, so I needed another member of the Gen X community to represent the journeys of Journeys and Ambitions. So I'm excited to have you here. So Michelle, we actually recently virtually met, and she does a whole bunch of, you do live videos every day on Facebook, is that right?
Every day on my drive to work, I go live in my car.
I love that. I love that because I'm the same way. I used to go on I don't really do the live thing as much, but except for this show, but I used to like go on Snapchat and I would just talk to myself
Oh, I
for
love
like
that.
for like an hour, and I was like, either people watch it or they don't. I'm talking,
Yeah.
and if you want to listen, feel free. If you don't, cool, bye.
Yeah, sometimes I have nobody on my drive, but people usually catch the replay, and sometimes, which is harder for me if there's no interaction, but I
Mhm.
still ramble on just the same, and I never know what's going to fly out of my mouth. So
That's usually the best kind of content. People feel like they're like friends with you. They're like, oh, we're besties, and because you
right.
talk to them every day, and you're like, I actually don't know who you are, but great. I'm glad you think we're besties.
Totally.
I'm so excited to have you here today. We're going to talk today. As you guys know, Journeys and Ambitions is on LV with Val Radio every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. But for Michelle, you had to get up at what, 8 a.m. for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is my
Yeah.
camera on?
Yeah, your camera's on. You're good.
Yep, it's still on.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had to get up so early, but I'm happy you're
Yeah,
here.
my computer wants me to.
Your computer, you're good now? I can hear you and see you just fine.
Yeah, well, it's just popping up,
Oh,
McAfee wants me to buy
yeah.
some protection.
I hate
It
that. I just X out
pop-ups.
of all of them. X, 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 X. Gen
I
X?
do
Ooh.
too. I'm just ding, 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 ding.
Yes. So, yes, I'm so super excited. As you guys know, we're on LV with Val Radio. Be sure to download the LV with Val app. There's music for you 24/7. Our show, Journeys and Ambitions, is every Friday at 11 a.m. I'm usually running a little bit late, but Michelle gave me some accountability, and so now we're here on time today, and I'm so happy. Today we're going to be talking about toxic treats. So we obviously try to approach things, all of our topics, from the perspective of someone who's Gen Z, millennial, whatever you want to call me. I'm what I want to be today, whatever's most convenient in the moment. From that perspective, and then the perspective of someone who's Gen X, just to kind of talk about things like, have they changed over time? Is that why we see things differently? Different kinds of experiences and stuff like that. So I want you to be fully honest. Even if it's not doesn't agree with me, that's cool. Like, we're here to have an honest conversation and say whatever we want to say. And there's no
That's
rules.
my favorite kind of conversation, really.
Yay! I love that. I love that. So today we're going to be talking about toxic treats. And the kind of premise behind this episode was kind of talking about, like, maybe you have like a guilty pleasure, or like a toxic habit, or something that you shouldn't be doing, or like a vice, something that, like, maybe not that you shouldn't be doing, but something that maybe you're not the most proud of.
There you have it.
So do you have anything, Michelle? Like, what came to your head whenever we first talked about this topic?
Um, smoking cigarettes for sure.
Oh,
For
okay, yeah.
sure.
Is
I
that something you
mean,
still do, or is it something you've given up from me?
I can drop it at any time, but
Okay.
then I pick it up because I'm a social smoker, and
Yeah.
my husband's like a big smoker,
Mhm.
and there's so many people in my circle that are smokers, and so I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
So then when I'm done smoking and it's time to go to bed, or when I wake up in the morning, I feel like poop because I smoked, and it's just dumb. It's just
Yeah.
dumb because I like don't have a habit per se. I like the social aspect of it.
Okay, so it's not like something that, like, you feel like within you, like, you, like, are itching for it. It's just more like almost like a peer pressure kinda thing.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I
Now,
totally
no one's pressuring me. It's more because I don't wanna miss anything. Like, when I go
FOMO.
outside to smoke, I'm like, "Ooh, you know, all the cool kids are outside smoking," or, whatever. At work, the same situation. Everybody smokes at work, so
Yeah.
I wanna
That
go
is
hang out.
That is an aspect of it, like, being able to go outside, like, I mean, even if you're not smoking, you can still go outside for any reason, but there is kind of, like, when you associate it with smoking, it does kinda change your perspective. So, I used to smoke cigarettes too. So, I grew up, with my mother and sorry, Mom, I'm calling you out. With my mother and my father smoking cigarettes. My father, and who's on today too, probably
Oh,
more heavily than my mother, but both like frequently smoking cigarettes, so much so that I kind of make this joke sometimes. Sorry, parents. You had a traumatizing childhood when you find the smell of cigarettes like
bleh.
comforting and nostalgic.
Oh,
I like the smell of cigarettes. I find it comforting. Yes, when I, like, smell it, I don't know, it's kinda messed up, but so I grew up my whole life, my parents saying, like, "Don't do this, don't smoke, don't smoke," but then you see it all the time and, like, you don't and that's not even why I started. So I started smoking cigarettes when I was, 18 years old, literally because all my friends were. My friends were smoking cigarettes, and I was like, "That looks fun. I wanna do that too. Like, I wanna be cool. I wanna be a cool kid." And at the time, sorry to my boss if you're watching this, I was also smoking a lot of weed. And so I was like, basically when I couldn't smoke marijuana, I was smoking cigarettes. And so then I got even more engulfed in it. And then I got a Juul. And then so when I couldn't step outside to smoke a cigarette or I wasn't at home to smoke marijuana, I would Juul every second of the day. I slept with it in my bed. It was I was one of those people. And now I don't smoke anything, like, maybe like once in a while, like you said, like, so, and not a lot of people I hang around with consistently do it that much. So it is really once in a while, once in a blue moon, where I'll like smoke. Cigarettes are probably like like my last. I do not vape anymore. Vaping disgusts me. I refuse to do it. It Especially Juuls. I don't even get tempted. Cigarettes, I have to have a few drinks in me to
oh, for sure.
to smoke a cigarette. And even then, I take 2 puffs and I'm like, all right, throwing it away. I'm done now.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, and so, you know, that was something that I was also very guilty of, but have since quit. And kind of like you said, I could drop it at any point. It wasn't like an addictive quality. It was just more like, that's kind of what everyone around me was doing. So I didn't like think too much about it. You know what I'm saying? I there's another one that I want to talk about, but I want to read some comments because we have a lot of comments here. So I want to say hi to everyone. So Leisha Marie says hi. Taryn Wilkins said good morning, good morning. Danielle says hi, babes. Hey, girl. Jackie says she is gorgeous. Hi, Michelle. Yes, she's
That's
beautiful.
my sister.
Your sister. Hey, sis. Hey, girl.
Hi,
Ashley
sis.
said hello. Everyone's saying hello. Leisha Marie. Amy Puckett says, hi, Michelle, here to support our girl. Aw, I love that. And then this one's kind of funny. So this guy, his name is Saint Scorp. So I went to Take 5, and it was taking a while because I got a few things done on my car, and I was just chatting with the Take 5 guy, and I was like, "Oh, well, I have a radio show," and I was like, "Pull out your phone," and I made him subscribe. So he's been tuning in. Thank you, Take 5 guy, whichever one I gave it to 2 of you. I don't remember. Ashley says, and it's funny and relatable. Yes, it is. Gen X, baby. That's right. Aaliyah says, good morning. Richard says, good morning. Hello, my beautiful friend, Michelle. Hello, girl.
Hi,
Hey.
Carla.
She said FOMO. And then, Taryn said telling people what they want to hear. I think she's referring to that as like one of her like vices. So I'm gonna star that. We're gonna come back to that.
Yes.
Leisha says, I love smoking, but due to my asthma, I physically get ill. And I think that's the thing about a lot of these like things that we do that we know are wrong, but like we still do it even though we know the consequences of it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Yeah, because like you do it and you're like, "Oh, I know this," like, and one of my, like, kind of guilty pleasures is I like to snack, and I love a good sweet treat, and
Oh.
your girl's she's been gaining some happy weight, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I also turned 25, and I think when you turn 25, like, your body changes, because I'm telling you,
It
I
does.
I haven't been eating any, like, differently than I had when I was 22, 23, 24. But for whatever reason, when I was 25, it's like, "Girl, get your shit straight," because yeah. So I
I
continue.
assure you it gets much worse.
Oh, lovely. I love that. I'm a fast food fiend. I love a good French fry, chicky nuggy,
Mm.
like, ooh, yeah. And I know how it makes me feel after, and yet I still partake, which is terrible. I'll read a couple more comments and then we'll keep moving on. Jackie said, "I must be super old or just uncool, but what is a jewel?"
No, you're actually smart, sis.
Yeah, you don't need to know what jewels are. I think they're
It's a
like,
vape.
I thought it's a vape, yeah, but I thought they were like, I thought they got banned, but I know a lot of people who still jewel, so I guess they,
There's tons of people out here.
yeah. My best friend still jewels, and I was like, I could have sworn they banned that, but
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
there's still a huge market for them, so of course they're gonna, people can get their hands on them.
Right, yeah, but even, like, at gas stations, it's not even like through,
Oh,
yeah, like, you can still get them at gas stations, at least in Texas, and I don't know, Texas has weird laws about certain things. You can't buy, like, liquor on Sundays, and you can't buy liquor from a gas station either.
seriously?
Yeah, when I talked to somebody about that, someone who's from another state, and they were like, it was in college, so they were in Texas in college, and I was trying to tell them, they were like, it was like, "And you can't get liquor after 9." And it was like midnight. They're like, "Well, we're gonna run to the gas station and get some, like, vodka or whatever." I'm like, "You can try." They're like, "No, I've gotten it from a gas station before." And I said, "Girl, I don't know what gas station you got it from, because you cannot get liquor from a gas station. You can only get it from liquor stores, and they close at 9 p.m. They will not sell you liquor or any alcohol, I think. No, I don't know about that, but liquor for sure."
I lived in Arizona, grew up a little bit in Arizona when I was younger, and it was the same way. And on voting days, no alcohol,
Mhm.
and Sundays for sure. I think it was afternoon you could buy it. And I lived in
Yeah.
Havasu, and everybody boated. Everybody was out on the lake in the on the weekend. So it was
Yeah.
kind of, you had to really plan.
Yeah, you have to think ahead. If you're like, "Oh, I know I'm gonna go out later," you have to go get your whatever you need during the day, because you won't be able to get it later at night. And then,
Right.
I mean, a lot of the gas stations, they sell, like, a version of the liquor, like a fake one that's, like, really just, like, a really concentrated, like, wine cooler situation. You know what I mean? There's ways around it.
Yes.
Like, even marijuana is illegal, but you can go to the store and get Delta, whatever they have right now, some legal version. So, they always
I didn't
figure it
know
out.
about that.
Yeah, girl, because 'cause you're from California, where everything's cool there.
Yeah, well, sorta.
Are you from California? Like, you were born and grew up there?
I'm born and raised here. I did move to Arizona. When you come from divorced parents,
Mhm.
which, as an adult, it's fine, but as a kid, oh my god. But
Yeah, it's
my
traumatizing.
dad moved to Lake Havasu, Arizona, which is lovely. And then from there, I moved back to California, and then I moved back to Havasu, and then I moved to Vegas for a few years.
Oh, wow,
And
yeah.
then came back home when I had my daughter, who's your age.
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about that, yeah. Yeah, in Vegas, I feel like everything's legal in Vegas. You can
Yeah.
kinda do whatever you want in
It's like,
Vegas.
yeah, no, yeah. No matter what you wanna do, you can get it there, you could find it there, you could do it there.
Yeah, exactly. I watched something where, like, prostitution is legal in Vegas, isn't it? Like a there's loopholes, so I don't think it's, like, outright prostitution, but there's, like, ways around it.
I don't know. That's a
I
good question.
I don't know.
I
That
mean, there's tons and tons of strip clubs, and there's all nude strip clubs, and, I mean, in Vegas, they're everywhere, so I don't
Yeah.
know about prostitution, but, I mean, it's
Hmm.
happening, so
Yeah, 'cause I watched something about, like, Hugh Hefner and, like, the Playboy. I don't know. I could be making stuff up, but I feel like I heard that, and I was like, "Interesting, interesting."
well, now I have to know.
I know,
So
now we have to do some research.
yeah.
We also got a comment, when we were talking about the consequences, Leisha Marie said, "Girl, yes, I don't think about the consequences, I deal with those later."
Shout out Lisha Marie, I love you. And Ashley. Ooh,
Yes.
Ashley's from Vegas.
Oh, okay, so maybe she can tell us.
Yes.
Ashley, let us know. She said, "Vegas has the Tropicana block that gets leeway."
Oh.
Interesting. Oh, she said, "Yes, escorting
Oh,
is."
for sure. Well, if you
Yeah.
ever I mean, have you been to Vegas?
I have. I've been to Vegas once as an adult, but I went a couple times as a child.
Well, there's the guys that, like, are up and down the strips that have those little cards with all the escort, like, they have all the really gorgeous girls on them
Mhm.
that are standing there handing them out.
Yeah, I don't understand. I
I
mean,
don't
there's
know.
obviously some sort of loophole or something. Maybe
And
that's someone's.
you know that who's on that card is not who you're calling.
Right, right. You're getting someone who looks maybe has a similar feature, like, not even the same.
Perhaps.
Maybe that's someone's guilty pleasure. I actually dated somebody who often would seek out escorts. Yeah. Mhm.
Yuck.
Mhm.
That's a yuck to me.
It was a yuck. I got a message on Instagram from a girl. She says, "Hey, girly." Um, and before my mom gets on me, this does have to do uh with toxic treats because I'm talking about how this was somebody else's guilty pleasure. But because she just said, "I leave you two alone," and we're talking about what? All right, Jennifer, relax, relax. But yeah, I got a message and this girl was like, and I had known that my boyfriend at the time was like into that, like, because I would, go through his phone, which is my guilty pleasure. I don't want to give people privacy. I'm going to look through your phone, which has to do with our Am I the Asshole later. We're going to do an Am I the Asshole that kind of goes into that a little bit. My guilty pleasure is I'm a snoop. I'm a spy. But so I knew he was like into that. And then when we finally broke up, I got a message from this girl basically saying that they were like hooking up and he didn't pay her and that's why she was mad and so she messaged me. Yeah, it was
Did
crazy.
she ask you for the money?
Oh no. No, she was just
Okay.
being a girly pop, being a good friend. She was like, "Hey
Oh,
girl,
that's
you did the work."
solid.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't mad at her. She was not the problem. He was the problem. And she even said, she goes, I do this for a living and he wanted my services and didn't want to pay. And I was like, "Oh, okay, girl. Well, he's a scrub. Bye."
Bye, girl. Yeah, bye, bitch. Not to her, but
Yeah, right,
I
to
swore I
him.
wasn't gonna cuss today, I swear.
It's okay. You can we can throw in a little bit of curse words as long as we're keeping it respectful. And this is so the real Miss Carter is the owner of LV with Val Radio. She's saying good morning to us.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. And it's okay. We can get a little raunchy as long as we keep it, respectful and all the
Okay.
things and honest, which is what we're doing. I do want to go back to the comment we got from Taryn when we were asking people, and I want you guys to all leave in the comments what is your guilty pleasure, your vice, something that you probably shouldn't do or probably isn't like the best thing, or maybe something that you maybe are a little embarrassed to divulge. Tell us what your little guilty pleasure is. But Taryn said telling people what they want to hear. And I was talking about this with my mom, actually, Jennifer, who's not here right now. I was talking to her about people pleasing and being a people pleaser. Would you consider yourself a people pleaser?
100%. It's gross and I know it, but I am.
Yeah. How do you what are do you ever feel like you put yourself at a disadvantage, or how do I word this? Do you ever feel like you do it to your own demise, where maybe you inconvenience yourself to support somebody else, or maybe you're telling people what they want to hear even though it puts you in an uncomfortable position?
Often.
Yeah.
Often. It's
Yeah.
it's terrible. Taryn, I feel you on that one.
I feel like I can be this way. But I try not to. But I do wanna be, polite. Like, being polite and, likable is important to me. I wanna be, yeah, polite and nice, but I will say, I find a way to say things without saying them. I'm very, sly about it. And I let people know how I feel, but I do it with, a smile on my face, so they're like, "Wait, I don't know if she just insulted me or what happened." So
Right?
I like to throw in, I like to confuse people when I'm
That
doing
is
that.
a wonderful trait in my opinion. I can do that too. I can get away with a lot because of the way I say things.
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
someone will walk away like, "Did she just diss me, or is that a compliment?" I'm not sure.
You're like, "Figure it out, girl. Whatever you
Yeah,
feel is the right
wow.
answer."
I'm super outspoken, though, like, I'm super outspoken, but I also like to be liked. I don't ever wanna hurt anyone's feelings, and I do have a sharp tongue, and, I like to make people laugh as well, so
Yeah,
sometimes that, you know, that might be a toxic trait of mine is that
yeah.
I like to be funny and liked, and then sometimes it could hurt someone's feelings, and I don't like that, and then I feel terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I do the same thing, like, I like to be the person that's, like, making people laugh or, like, kinda saying something that, like, people are like, "Wow, that's so crazy, I can't believe she just said that," but I never aim to, like, offend people, although that's kind of inevitable. Everyone has their own, like, boundaries of what bothers them and what hurts their feelings, and that's you can't completely erase that. But sometimes I do leave like social gatherings and I'm like, I said too much. I was like, I was trying to be the life of the party and I said way too much. That happened because we were talking before the show how I'm in the choir. Um, and we do these like social gatherings. And one time I was telling a story because I kind of in college was a little crazy. I did some crazy stuff. And I was telling some of the stories, and people like were kind of just silent, like waiting for more. And I was like, okay, let me deliver. And by the end of it, I was like, I said far too much. I was like, I gave way too much of my business. Was it entertaining? Yes, but and that was me people pleasing because I was like, "Well, they want more, so I'm gonna give them more." And at the end, I was like, "Oh, I need to shut my mouth. I need to be quiet."
I do that on my live every day. I literally do sometimes I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah, you're like,
ooh,
wow, digital footprint is a thing.
ooh."
Yeah.
And I'm not really like a name person, I don't usually call people by name, but if they're watching, they can probably guess it that I'm talking about them, but
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to be funny, and I am funny.
Yeah. You are
Sometimes
funny.
it's like, but I'm exactly like that in that, like if the people want more, I'm gonna give them more, and I go overboard, and sometimes in the morning, my husband and I will talk about things, when our heads clear,
Mhm.
especially if we've been out drinking, and he'll be like, "Damn, you were on a good one last night, babe." I know, eek.
Yeah, it can be, especially if you've had a few drinks. You think after you're like, "Wow, I need to shut up. I need to drink less," or whatever the solution is. Which it's funny 'cause, we were talking about drinking, and I was talking about how I used to kinda smoke, a lot, and I stopped doing that, but I've started drinking more not a lot. I don't drink, like, every day or even every week, but I was hardly ever drinking, and now I was talking about the liquor store thing earlier. Now I always make sure I have a bottle of liquor to when I have the feeling to go get it. So that is, maybe a toxic trait of mine. I also used to, bite my nails a lot, like, bad. Like, I was a bad nail biter. Like, the second there was any white on top, I would just gnaw on my nails, and it was so bad. And then I would go get my nails done and get the acrylics and they would grow out, but then they'd be like really weak and stuff. So about 2 years ago, I started painting my nails, and every week, sometimes twice a week, I paint my nails just with regular polish. I don't use the gel or anything like that. And ever since then, I've stopped biting my nails. So, you can give up your toxic treats too.
Sure. I
Yeah.
really wish I had that nail polish color on right now.
A sparkly blue.
Uh-huh.
Oh
It
yeah,
would
she's
look cute on
gorgeous.
top.
Look at her.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so the hey girl, my dog is saying hi.
Hey.
Nail biting used to be a big one. Eating is fast food is probably like my worst one right now. And I'm like trying to be better, but it's so hard. It's so hard. It's like especially because it's so convenient. You're like driving home from work and you see those golden arches that get me every time.
Oh, the french fries, forget it.
Mm, the hot and spicy chicken with the
Ooh,
mayonnaise. Oh, it's so good.
it is so damn good.
It really gets me I get the hot and spicy for the mayonnaise. Like, it's just so delicious.
My husband is he like whenever we go out, like,
Mhm.
anywhere, and then we're coming home at night, he always has to stop to get something to eat, and then it's like, "I don't want that," but then, of course, I have to order something.
Right. You don't want FOMO.
No, and then my son's gotta have some nuggets and a hamburger and hope to God he doesn't finish all that's his nuggets so I can have some.
Right, right. Mhm. And then Chick-fil-A, because it's so
Ooh,
easy and, like, I don't know why in my head I see Chick-fil-A, I'm like, "Well, it's, like, healthy. It's, like, real chicken, and they use a lot of vegetables, so, like, it's healthy." And I convince myself. I'm toxic to my own self, and I'm like, "Well, this is actually skinny food, and I'll be fine."
I feel exactly the same way about Chick-fil-A. I feel like, "Oh, that's a good choice."
Right. I'm like, I'm actually doing something good not only for the environment, but for myself.
Yes,
Yes.
really.
Sorry, I know
Mhm.
they're homophobic, but I do love Chick-fil-A, I can't help it. I really can't. That's my toxic treat. Um, oh, okay, that's what you said her name is Lisha Marie, is that how you say it?
Lisha Marie.
Lisha Marie? She said eating crappy and then complaining about the gains.
Oh,
That's her
girl.
vice, her
Preach.
guilty pleasure. Yeah, I'll be like, "Well, I ate a salad last week. Why am I gaining weight?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I don't understand." And then the real Miss Carter said when we were talking about being a people pleaser and like saying things to kind of like appease others, she said that was me, and I had to go out of that space because it's not the healthiest space to be in.
It's not at all.
Yeah, because you have to be true to yourself, and I think that's easier said than done. Because like we said, you want to be likable. That is like a driving factor in a lot of people. You want to be likable. You want to be adored. You want to be admired. I know that's kind of where I'm at, and I like to feel needed. And I feel like I've talked about this on the show before. I like to feel needed so much so, and I'll also talk about on the show all the time how busy I am. But if someone asks me to do something, or even if they don't ask me, I will offer up myself to do things because I'm like, well, they need me. Especially if I feel like it's something I would be good at, I'm like, well, I'm going to be the best at this. So I'm going to offer myself to do this, even though I know I don't have time. I'm going to find the time because I want them to look at me as like, wow, Abby's a team player. Abby does this. Abby's so blah, 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 which is maybe self centered, but it is what it is. She's self centered, but it's fine.
I freaking love you. I love your honesty. I get that. I want to be that guy too, and I feel like I'm the best at things,
Mhm.
as well. I'm not. I mean, it's just in my head, I feel like I am. Like, I could do
Yeah.
that better, and I need to do that for you.
Yeah,
Um,
I need to be the one to do it because I don't like the way you're doing it.
oh, for sure.
Do you think being a mother kind of plays into that too? Like or even just a woman, but especially a mother, kind of that need to be like needed and relied on and admired and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, my husband and I, because I also have a 7-year-old son.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it was easy with my daughter because I mean, I didn't have anyone to there was no competition. I was the one.
Yeah.
So, it was easy. And now that she's older, daddy's number 1 and I'm not number 1, which stinks. I hate that. I really, really hate it. I'm like, "Damn it, I raised you." And I thought I did a good job, but as I'm finding out, maybe I didn't because now dad's the superhero, which is totally fine. By the way, I just want you to make that clear. But with
Yeah.
my son, oh, shoot, I really want to be the number 1, but my husband's such a damn good dad, so
Yeah.
you can go be good at that, but I'm gonna be good at this.
Yeah, like I need to play my role and you can play your role. Yeah. No, I totally understand that. And I think I always say, and actually, so I found 2 Am I the Assholes, and I kinda wanna do both of them because I think we've kinda touched on both of them, and what I'm about to say definitely plays into one of the ones that I wanna do. Um, so I'm not a parent. I don't have any children, but I very much believe that being a parent is a thankless job. Um, like you're expected to give everything to this person, and you're not really guaranteed to get anything in return. And
Nope.
there's no right way to do it, and no matter how good of a job you think you're doing, you know, there's no perfect parent. Like, there's gonna be some part of your child that's like, I didn't like that you did that as a parent. Like, you know, I even said something to my mom the other night about, like, you know, certain things like in my childhood, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, childhood trauma. She goes, I didn't traumatize you. I'm like, you did, and that's okay. That's okay. Like, it's okay. I think it's normal to, and trauma is maybe like a big word to use, right? But like, there
Sure.
are like things that like happened when I was a child that affected me as a person today. And some of them I'm like, you know what, I want to implement that and do that in my life going forward. But then some of the other things I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like that. That was crazy. That affected me negatively. And not to say that my parents did anything wrong, because I also believe that, you know, everyone is human and we all go through human emotions, and you can't expect somebody to be perfect just because they have a child all of a sudden. Anybody can have a child.
Sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
But actually, I think that's actually a good segue into, well, let me read some comments first, and then I kind of want to go into the "Am I the asshole?" Because I like I said, I want to do two of them. Um, oh, Kristen V said, "I buy things I don't need." That's her guilty pleasure. Are you an Amazon shopper, Michelle?
Oh, Amazon, Temu, all the things. I buy all my friends because a lot of my friends, not all my friends, a lot of my friends are in different businesses and they
Mhm.
sell different things, and I want to support everybody. And
Mhm.
sometimes I don't need the things, or I think I want the things, but I don't necessarily need the things because I already have four of those things
Yeah.
or similar. Yeah, it's bad. If I just like panned in on my nightstand, you'd be like, "Oh shoot, she better not." Just that, and that's just one thing.
Yeah, that's just like one area. We
Mhm.
did our first episode was called What Consumes You, and we were talking about consumerism and like over shopping and stuff like that. And that's something that I think I've tried to step away from as much, not to say that I'm not still guilty of it, because I am, but that is something that like I try to really think twice. Like, am I going to use this? Do I have something like this that I could repurpose, or like, does the thing I already have do the job that I need this for? Because, you know, I don't know if you're on TikTok, but TikTok has all these like stupid things that you can buy. And there's one thing that I'm literally about to buy.
What
And
is it?
it's so dumb. It's like a little, like, it looks like a little USB thing with like a button on it, and you hook it up to your phone so that you can set your TikTok up and scroll without touching your phone. It's the stupidest thing ever. It's
It's
the
kinda
dumb.
cool though.
It's very cool because you know, sometimes you set your phone down and you're like listening to a TikTok, because some of them are longer, some of them are shorter, and you set your phone down and listen to a TikTok, and then you like walk away and you're like, the same TikTok is playing over and over and over again. But I don't need that. I don't like, that is a whole level of lazy that I'm like,
No.
I really don't need it. It's so bad. Um oh, Taryn said she wants that. She's like, I want one of those.
Like at
And
Terren's all, "I want that."
yeah. So TikTok, I do sometimes fall victim to the TikTok ads, but I leave things in my cart for a long time before I like purchase, even if it's something I need. I recently got new AirPods and I need a new case for them. And I didn't get it for weeks because I really thought, I'm like, do I really need a case? I did really need a case because I was gonna lose them just floating around in my bag. So I do try to be better about the shopping thing. And it helps when I don't have a lot of money to spend. So, you know, that is also a factor.
Well, there's that.
That'll definitely help.
I just
Okay.
loaded up my cart on TikTok. I try to
Uh-huh.
avoid TikTok because it's like a 3-hour rabbit hole that I'll go down, but I just
Uh-huh.
loaded up my cart on TikTok, and then the shipping came, and I was like, "I'm not paying $20 for shipping, you've lost your damn mind."
I
I
ordered something off TikTok and it took a month to get here too.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
bought that face thing, which is I'm gonna say is a really good product. I don't even know if I have it here, but
Mhm.
it has the red light, green light, blue light that you just a little wand. I don't know if you saw it on TikTok.
I
It's all
probably
over.
have, yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
There is
What is
a vacuum that I really wanna buy off TikTok. It's pink and it's cordless, and they do a bunch of it's like $100. We have a perfectly good vacuum, and I'm like, "No, but I
the
want the
pink
pink one."
one?
Obviously.
I feel you on that. It's pink. I get it.
Yeah. I would be silly not to, obviously. Okay, I wanna do, am I the asshole next? Because like I said, there's 2 of them that I wanna do. So this one is the one about parenting kind of, sort of. So I'm going to read this, and then we'll do another one too. That's about when I was talking earlier about like snooping on the phone. That's one of my guilty pleasures, and we'll get into that. So this one, the title is, Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Uproot My Life and Move Back In with My Parents? Before we get going, y'all put it in the comments. Are they the asshole? Are they not? Okay. So I, 31 male, moved out of my parents' home when I was 19 years old. I have lived on my own with different roommates for the past 12-ish years. My current problem is that my parents want me to move back home. They need my help, both financially, to which I've already been sending them money whenever I can, and to help take care of them. They had me late in the game, and they are both in their early 70s. I have 4 older siblings, but because I'm the only one of the 5 of us who don't but because I'm the only one of us that don't have kids. They expect me to drop my life and move 2 states away so that I can move back in with them on my own dime, too. I told them no, that I wouldn't do it. I don't have the best relationship with my mother. While my father is basically a teddy bear, my mother spent most of my life telling me how much I ruined her plans, how I wasn't supposed to happen. Took a fit every time she had to spend money on me, while at the same time never shying away from dropping 20s and 50s in the communion basket during church, screaming at me for being too small to fit in my older brother's hand-me-downs when he was always tall for his age, while I've always been short. I told them no. My father seems to understand, but my mother's gone on a rampage. I've been getting calls from people in my old neighborhood that I haven't seen in years, talking down to me about my decision. My siblings have also been badgering me about it. So Reddit, am I the asshole for not wanting to uproot my life and move 2 states away on my own dime just to move back in with my parents? I have an opinion, but I want to hear yours first, Michelle. Go off, queen.
Ooh, because I have parents that are at that age. But I also have kids, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, God, kind of an asshole in my opinion. However, I get it.
Right.
I do get it. I get damn, because that's tough to uproot your life.
Yeah. Well, and especially because they're the youngest one, and this kind of goes into, people who don't have kids, their time and their stability is seen as less valuable than people with children. So he was like, well, I'm the only one without kids, so I'm expected to do this. And it's like, what about what about the other siblings? Why are you the one that's expected to do it? So, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. I think it's a thankless job. And I think a lot of people have kids for the wrong reasons too. Like, how many times do you hear people say, like, as a joke, like, oh, my children are my retirement plan? Girl, if you don't get you a 401k, if you don't get you a Roth IRA, girl, what's going on?
Amen. Amen
You know
to
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, that's ideal, right? It's ideal for your children to take care of you in your old age. And my mom made a comment. She loves to say stuff like this. Not the asshole, but Abby will need to take care of me. Girl, if I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love my mom and I'm an only child. So there is kind of a level of like expectation that,
Sure.
when, if anything ever happens to my mom, or like when she gets older and she, retires, there's not really another option. I will be the one to figure whatever it is out. But I think as a parent, it's also your responsibility to, like, if you only have, and I'm not talking about my mom, I'm just talking in general, but like, if you only have one child and you're like super financially irresponsible, you have a bunch of debts, you have like all these things, and you know that you're leaving a hot mess for your children or your child, that's also not very fair either. So,
Not fair at all, in
yeah,
my opinion. I
as
mean,
she
I have
said, no.
parents that are at that age, and you know, my mom lives alone, and it's just a matter of, and I love my mom dearly, but I don't know that I could move back in with her at this
Yeah.
age. I just don't. She got to go to Florida and live with my brother.
And like I've kind of said to my mom before, I'm like, I do plan on being very wealthy. She will be wealthy. She will have a lot of money. And while I may not have my mom move in with me, I will get you a really nice retirement home, Mom. Love you. I will find the nicest retirement home that money can afford, that money can buy.
Yeah, and then you get a social life too, because generally they have all those fun little old people things that they get to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, arts
I'm
and
enjoying one of
crafts.
those deals when I get older.
Right, I'd kinda rather that than, like, living with my children,
Yes.
mooching off of them, so, Jennifer, I got you. I'll get you a really nice retirement home. She said, "I'm super good with that." We have some more comments, on this, "Am I the asshole?" Ashley said, "I live with my mom and we do things together when it comes to finances for the home. I'm the primary driver because she can't drive, but I also have a married brother with a wife and child, and they do help me with my mom." That's good. That's good that and I say burden, but that responsibility is, like, divvied up because even whether you're married or not or have children or not, your time and your life and your stability is just as valuable as someone with or without kids. Like, I that's a choice you made.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jackie said, "If the parents are retired, I would tell them to move where the son is so he can be closer to help and not uproot his life." Agreed. Facts.
Facts.
Facts. How about you uproot your life if you need help so damn bad?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's kind of what we thought about for my mom, like, if she decided to move to Florida where my brother is, and that's where people retire anyways, right?
Yeah.
She would not move in with my brother, but move in their neighborhood, and then they have a really good community, and that's if she decides to do that, but she loves California, so
Yeah.
in the meantime, she'll just live down the street from me, and that's fine.
Yeah, and, you can't always have it both ways. You can't have it where, like, I wanna live where I live currently, but also I want you to change your entire life to cater to me. You're in your 70s, girl, like, figure it out. Like, you gotta give and take. You can't expect somebody to just do exactly what you want them to do all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not fair either. Okay. We have another Am I the Asshole? I found 2 because I was so excited, and this one, I may have a controversial opinion on it. I didn't, like, read the entire thing because I like to keep it a little bit of a surprise, but, I may have a controversial opinion, so if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to let anyone see what I'm doing on my laptop? When I first read that, I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's not their business," but okay. I live with my partner and I am currently seeing a therapist. It is going well, and one of the things they have suggested I do is write down my thoughts and feelings. I have started doing this most nights, but as I don't want anyone to see what I'm writing, and both me and my girlfriend work from home, I have to either sit away from my girlfriend or turn the laptop so she cannot see the screen, as I don't have a lot of time when it's just me in the apartment. She wanted to talk yesterday, and she said she finds it weird that I refuse to let her see what I'm doing on the laptop and that it looks like I'm hiding something. She said I'm spending a lot of time on it, and it's weird that I will sit on the sofa with her but angle my laptop away from her. I explained that it was for therapy, but she just said it looks suspicious. It for I repeated it was for therapy and that it was private. She said I should at least let her see it once or twice to show I'm not hiding anything, or at least use it a lot less than I am now, but I refused. I told her it was private to me and no one is going to see what I'm writing. She said it looks like I'm either writing about her or hiding something, but I just told her to drop it since it has nothing to do with her. She said I wasn't listening to her and that I was dismissing her valid concerns, but I just repeated that I've already told her that I repeated that I've already told her what I'm doing so she can stop talking about it, but she said I was being unreasonable by not considering a compromise and that I'm spending too much time on my laptop. Okay, so I said I didn't read the whole thing. He's not the asshole because he did say it was for therapy. That's my opinion. At first, I was like, well, at least
I
tell her.
100% agree.
Right. At first, I was like, at least if, like, I understand having privacy, but, like, if someone is, like, suspicious, just say, like, it's basically like my journal and I don't want you to see it.
Yeah.
So, never mind. I thought I don't have a controversial opinion on
No. Well, I mean, if I put myself, like, in that situation with my husband and I was doing something therapeutic, some part of therapy and journaling or writing or, that's kind of your homework and that's trying to how you work through things, correct?
that. Yeah, right.
Um, I probably would show him just because we're so open,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't let him see the whole thing.
Right. Like, just, like, show the notes app and be like, "See, look, it's just a journal. Like, this it's long because I've been
Yeah.
writing so much." Yeah. Yeah. I do see where the girlfriend's coming from, because I think I would get suspicious too. Like, and
Same.
who knows how much time it is, right? This is from his perspective, and who knows how much time it is. It would make me uncomfortable if we were on the couch together and you like had your laptop turned. I think that would raise some concern for me. He could at least maybe go into like a different room, you know what I mean, and say,
Sure.
hey. And my Jennifer said, I think he should have a dedicated block of time. Agreed. And sometimes something might come up in your head and it's not in that dedicated block of time, right? And you can say, hey, I need to step away. I need to do some like therapy tricks real quick, but I'll be right back. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's appropriate to maybe just be a little more vocal about it, because I think, and Jackie said, obviously she has insecurity issues and maybe she needs the therapist. I agree. She probably is insecure. I do think his behavior can appear suspicious though,
Sure.
if he's not. And he just says, oh, it's for therapy. It's for therapy. Did you watch that thing? It was a big story that went on TikTok and it was on YouTube and everything. Risa Tisa, this girl talking about her lion ass man, and she married him and they were together. Okay. It was this whole, look it up, Risa Tisa. Look it up on
Okay.
YouTube. It's a 7-hour thing, but you don't have to watch the whole thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, she basically tells this long story about how her man was like cheating, and he would, or not cheating, sorry, lying. He was telling a whole bunch of lies. And then about like his finances, and he had all these like fake documents that he doctored up and showed her. And so that would kind of like, yeah, it's insane. It's
I would
actually
die.
insane. And so I do think sometimes when things look suspicious, it's not always rooted in insecurity. It is, I think, a little bit maybe, but it also is like, okay, girl, like you're acting weird. It's fishy, and I don't like it. So
Yeah.
there could be better communication between them. We have some more comments on that. Ashley said, no, that's not wrong at all. It's called boundaries. About him not letting the girl see the laptop. And then Jennifer said, so at least if the fear were cheating, it's less likely that it's from 6 to 8 nightly, talking about the dedicated block of time. Which I agree. Yeah.
I agree.
If the communication is more like, hey, I need to go do some therapeutical things, whatever, I can like set aside and like ease your mind. Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, even if they have insecurities, if you want to like, everybody has insecurities. So to not maybe like trigger those insecurities more, you can communicate and say, I'm doing this. Don't worry. I'm not cheating on you. I'm just writing in my journal. Which he could also get a notebook and pen and write in a journal, and that would be less suspicious. But
Totally agree.
I also like technology, so what can I say? Jennifer said maybe he caused insecurities. So maybe that is causing her the insecurity about it. So I did pick this story because that is one of my guilty pleasures. Is I snoop. I'm better about it in my current relationship, because I used to be a snooper. Like, I'd wait till I fall asleep and I'd look through everything. Emails where you find stuff. Ladies, men, whoever, if you want to find something on your partner, look in their email. It's always in the email. Search history too, but it's the email every time. The email will give you away every single time. I guarantee it. Bank statements, everything. So I am the master snooper, but I'm healthy now. I've healed. I'm not toxic like I used to be, and I don't do it as much.
Good.
Are you a snooper?
Not at all. Like
Not at all.
Like my husband and I we have each other's passwords. I could give a crap what he looked at. And I'm not always appropriate. I am super inappropriate.
Yeah.
Not in the cheating way, but I say things again for laughs.
Yeah.
I mean, I am super, super, super. I'm just super inappropriate. I know that. I'm well aware of it.
Yeah.
My husband and I are super open, but he's the only relationship I've ever been in that it's been like this.
Yeah.
We've been together like 17 years now, but he could look at my phone any damn time. But his phone has gone off in the middle of the night. And I lay there and I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Like, all of a sudden my mind, and I'm not like that, but my
Yeah.
mind goes off. So when he gets his ass in the shower, I'm gonna check. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's just like,
And it's almost always like a notification from from one of our son's stupid games, because
yeah.
I don't know his phone noises.
Uh-huh. Like
But
which one is
it'll throw me off for a minute. Like it'll screw me up.
Yeah, I get that. And like I said, I try to be better because I'm also in a healthy relationship
Good.
and I'm trying to be healthier. And like in all my past relationships, I was probably the healthier. And then in this one, I'm the toxic one, so I'm growing. I'm trying to be better for the healthy person that I'm with. So, I try not to snoop. We did have a conversation because I did snoop and I saw something I didn't like. And we had to talk about that because I shouldn't have been snooping. But therapy session, love it. Thank you. So we have a few minutes left. Is there anything else that you want to say about toxic treats, or maybe you have a guilty pleasure, anything that you want to leave our audience with, or anything like that?
I think we covered all the things. I think, just on this last topic we were talking about, in the past, sometimes if I've been a snooper, I
Hmm.
I end up hurting myself even more.
Yeah.
So it screws me up. And so I'm so grateful that I have a really good marriage and a really good. I mean, I told my husband, I'm like, if you were going to cheat on me, you totally could, because I'm just not. I mean, he would never, but
Yeah. And it is about
um,
trust. Yeah.
yeah. But that's, I feel like that's very unique because it's not always like that. But I waited a very long time for a relationship like this.
Hmm.
So
You have to kind of like adjust your behavior
yeah,
whenever you're with somebody who you can actually trust.
yeah,
Yeah, which is what I realized too. I was like, I can trust. It wasn't snooping out of not trusting. It was literally just curiosity, and because I'm a little crazy, I was like, it's not that I don't trust this person. I trust this person through and through. I'm a nosy bitch, and I want to be all up in your business. And yeah,
Oh,
I
don't get me wrong. I'm super nosy. I like all the tea.
yeah,
I just don't. I think it's because of the relationship that I have that I don't do those things, or I
yeah.
don't feel that I need to do those things. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. You don't feel like the need to as much. Well, and
Yeah,
especially like when that person is like, because my partner's never tried to like look at my phone or be up in my business. And so I was kind of like, all right, I can't be. I was like, but they could, and just because I'm more willing to like say, here's my phone, look through it, that doesn't mean that they are, and that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that that person's hiding something, because is a sense of privacy that I would want too. Like
sure.
even in the "Am I the asshole?" Like I have a journal where I've written things in it before, and when someone comes over to my house, I like to like show them like, oh, and this is where I look at my like desk area, and I have this little journal, and I'm like, but don't look in it because it has very personal things in it, but it's cute, and I leave it out because it's cute. But yeah, there is a level of privacy that I wouldn't want someone to look through my things either. So I've had to learn to kind of like be more respectful of that,
Sure.
you know.
When my daughter moved away to Vegas, she left a lot of things behind because it was a quick shuffle all of her stuff and get out when her dad showed up. But I found a diary,
Mhm.
and I know better. Like, I know better, and that's my daughter.
Yeah.
I know there's probably some crap in there, and I read only 2 pages and then I closed it. I'm like,
You don't want to cross that boundary.
I didn't want to cross the boundaries.
Oh, you're so good. I would
And
have
she
opened it
wasn't
up
even
and looked
here.
at
She would have never known. It
it.
still
Yeah,
sits in the damn closet.
you're so good. I would have read every single page. Mm.
With my daughter, I tread so lightly, and I mean, she would never know if I read her damn diary,
Right.
but I try to be so respectful of her feelings and her privacy and her space, even though she's not in my home and
Mhm.
doesn't even talk to me. Um, I try really hard to be not that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a struggle whenever like you feel really pulled to do something because like you're like, oh, like it's just so easy. I could do it. It's right there. And trying
And
not
it would probably be very enlightening. It would probably tell me more about her feelings
Mhm.
towards me or what was happening in our, in her life or, at that time
Yeah.
when she moved, it would probably be very enlightening. I don't know. I didn't want to know.
My mom said she read mine. I don't know if she's talking about when I was a child or currently, but she read mine.
Well, if you just leave it out, I mean, the temptation is there.
That's what I'm saying. I almost don't really blame her, but I get it from her clearly, the snoopiness, the curiosity.
I was going to say it.
Yeah,
You
so
guys are both very good investigators.
oh, I'm an incredible investigator. People should hire me. They should pay me. I would be so good about it.
I thought
So,
we talked about this on our little powwow the other day about you
we
being a
did.
private investigator.
Oh yeah. I need to get whatever license you need for that because I would be a great private investigator.
Wouldn't that be fun too?
Yeah, no,
You just
I
seek
love
out
being in
dirt
people's
on
business.
people?
What'd you say?
You just get to go, you get paid to go seek out dirt on people?
Right? Like catch people cheating? Like I would love that. I love being a snoop. I love people spilling all their business. I love it. And I'm good at getting like information out of people too. Like even just like in conversation, like I'll like sometimes my friends will look at me like, "Did you really just ask that person that question?" I said, "They don't have to answer it, but yeah, I did ask." And go ahead. You have the choice to answer me or not. So whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But no, this was a really fun show. I think we should have you back on with Jennifer on as well because I think
I agree.
that would be really, really cool. And we do want to try to have more guests or stuff like that on the show. Me and my mom kind of decided if one of us can't make it, instead of not having a show or doing a rerun or pre-recording, because we kind of like the live interaction that we get, that we'll just get somebody to fill in. So I think this worked out great. I hope that Jennifer is having a great time on her first ever cruise. Woo! Yay!
Oh, even better.
So I am so super excited. We have I don't remember on the top of my head what the next episode is, but stay tuned next Friday because we will be back next Friday with a new episode at 11 a.m. Central Time. Not Central Standard, Central. My mom told me it's like, anyways, I don't get it. Central Time. And remember, you can listen on LV with Val Radio. Be sure to download the LV with Val app or visit lvwithval.com. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to get to triple digits on our YouTube channel. So of any Michelle's friends who are just now tuning in for the first time, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all platforms at Journeys Ambitions, except for Twitter. It's J_A_radio. But yes, follow us on all other platforms, Journeys and Ambitions. Subscribe to our YouTube. We post shorts pretty much every day, YouTube shorts. We have little reels, clips from the episodes. There will be clips of Michelle and I from today's episode. And I hope everyone has a great day. Bye.
Well, bye. Thanks for having me, guys. All right, bye.